Welcome everyone to another episode of Time for BL. This is the podcast where we review movies, TV shows, novels, and comics, all in the boys love genre. It took a while to really do this review because I'm really trying to think of what to say about this show, because I didn't hate it. It wasn't bad. They did a lot of things right, but they also did some things that made me go, but I still really enjoyed it. I'm talking about My Engineer, of course, like the title. It's a college romance, male show, a straight slice of life romance. The main characters are Bon and Duan, who we follow as they run away they meet by running away from a lizard. And I was trying to rewatch it again and see. I figured Bon had an attraction to Duan, but he didn't want to admit his attraction to Duan. I was trying to figure out that whole part. And he gets Duan for saving his life, he has to give him a rose every day for a month. So Duan has to keep giving him a rose every day for a month. It was actually cute in the sense that Duan is the cuter character. The actor is has the cutesy boy look, and Bon has the manly man look. And I like that the show challenges that, with Duan being the one giving Bon the roses. When someone wrote a fanfic, is it a fanfic? About the two, in it, having Duan be the I'm trying to think of any other word than the top. Jeez. I was I want to make this classy. The top. So I like that the show did that. So I'm going into good things, I guess. I like that the show did that. But there were some slight small things. I thought it was funny that the dad is oh yeah, I'm just looking at my daughter one last time before I go off. All right, bye, have a good day. He just leaves. That had me cracking up. I find it funny that whenever the script needed it, Duan's motorcycle just disappears. After a while, we just stopped seeing the motorcycle. I'm was there an accident? Did something happen to the motorcycle? Did I miss what happened to the motorcycle? Did anyone watch Family Matters, where and everyone talks about, I'm sorry, I wasn't a huge Family Matters fan. I watched for Urkel. But, the girl who walked up the stairs and never came back. That bike rode on a road, drove down a road, and just never came back. It just disappeared. It's weird that got me, but it did get me. One of the reasons it got me and had me going, where's that bike, is because I liked that addition of the motorcycle for Duan's character. It adds to the whole, he looks very cute and he's adorable and he loves his precious little sister. But hey, he rides a sports bike. I really liked the addition of that. So I was sad to see that disappear. Bon still drove a sports car, and that's actually something I liked as well. They both seem to like sports vehicles, right? They like speed. So they have that in common. To me, the characters of Bon and Duan were very compatible. They both messing with each other in different ways, even though Bon would always, they'd both sometimes take it overboard with their messing around. Definitely. And the ghost thing, seriously, dude, a ghost? Yeah, he made out with a ghost. No. Watch it. Just watch it. Now with the characters of Bon and Duan, I actually really like them together. I know some people were kind of bummed out that there wasn't more affection and kissing throughout the whole season, but I've never read the book. If it's based off a book, all of them are based off a book of some form. So I don't know. Yeah, actually, I think it is. I need to check my MEB. Anyway, MEB, whatever it's called. But the I liked the build of it. I liked the fact that, you know, one was just like, no, not too much, and the other one was all in your face. I thought it was interesting. I'm sorry, I hope no one can hear what's going on outside because I'm cracking up. So I liked their chemistry. I liked the fact that everything was taking place at their pace, because they needed it to be at their pace. Both of them weren't like, well, you know, and I love that when Vaughn was like, move in with me, Dawn was like, no, which is what I want to see more of going, dude, we just got together like 2 weeks ago, like wait a year at least. And that's mainly because they're in college. Like, it's one thing, like, when you watch a show and it's like two like 30-something-year-olds a couple months later going, yeah, let's move in together, versus two college students going, yeah, let's move in together. It's just two different dynamics there. Or maybe I'm just old. I could just be old. I'm sorry, I'm old. So yeah, Bon and Dawn, I loved their chemistry. I thought they worked really well together. I still want to know where the heck that bike is. I love the little cousin and the little sister. Except I would just like to point out the fact that they were like, oh, he doesn't speak much Thai, and then he only speaks English like his first 2 times he shows up. Then after that, it's just Thai. Oh my gosh. And they're like, the blonde hair boy. I'm like, were they trying to find a blonde hair boy and they couldn't find a blonde hair boy? So they're like, all right, this kid, like, what is the situation on that? I need to move on. So next is fan favorite, Ram and King. Ram and King, I actually really liked. I thought the whole thing was sweet, especially Ram being so reserved and so, like, introverted and so shy. And really having to come out of his shell and be comfortable. There is like there is a thing where there are people who they don't talk to they won't talk to you unless they really know you. It takes them a while to warm up. And I was like, wow, it's interesting that they're kind of showing that, but at the same time, I don't even think they meant to show it. Like, the studio itself, I feel like they weren't thinking that deep. It was just like, he's really quiet, he's mysterious, and that's kind of it. Which is whatever, okay. But I love how anytime it came to doing, like, when Bon is like, or Bon, I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing names all day, was like, yeah, let's do this, yes, let's do that, you know, he's the one jumping in, like, he can't go because remember the last time you went, what happened? Okay. Like, he will jump in to protect his son. He jumps in to protect his child. The whole situation with his dad, I love that was in there, mainly because a lot of these shows, they don't really do storylines that really, like, show someone's, like, whole emotions. Like, everything usually is very surface, and if they try to go deep, it's still not really deep because it's solved by the end of the season. And this is a situation where it's so difficult. Like, who can give him advice about that? Who do you talk to about that? And the fact that he found someone who he's okay to talk to and who's going to keep that secret for him is really good. I love King's sister because I was just sitting there going, oh my gosh, is that what I look like? But then she had her kids, like, taking pictures of his uncle kissing a guy, or trying to get pictures of his uncle kissing a guy. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, that's not me. But then I'm going, oh my gosh, what if that's me in like 10 years? Oh my gosh. What if it's just not kicked in yet? My youngest is gonna be the same age as those kids, and then all of a sudden it starts. Oh gosh. I hope that never happens. I feel sorry. I feel sorry that I, like, bonded with her, though. Like, I was just like, oh my gosh, I love her. When I say something, I'm like, no, that's disgusting, don't do that. But I'm like, I'm like, this is probably what my husband sees when he looks at me. He's probably like, yep, that is you right there. That character, that is you. I love like King and Ram both having their thing, like Ram with dogs, King with plants. Oh, that whole thing, and him like getting a Venus flytrap for Ram was like perfect. One complaint, I think I've mentioned it before. So the actor who plays Ram Perth, he is Australian, and he's Australian, I believe. I hope I'm right. And it's an Aussie accent. But that's the point. It's an Aussie accent. Now, I have no problem with it being an Aussie accent and then, like, the other person speaking English as well. Like, it's obvious English is their first language accent. But in this case, I was like, that's not her first language. Was that the only actress they could get? Because at that point, it doesn't matter if the person you get speaks Thai or not. It really doesn't. Like, you just need an English-speaking actor. And it made me wonder, were they thinking, like, people in Thailand who don't speak English weren't going to realize that the accent was different? Because even if the accent was different, and let's say, for example, the mom was played by someone from Canada and Perth still plays the character, because they both speak English fluently, I think it would have just been like, okay, just two actors. But because the actress speaks with such a thick European style accent, I was just like, they could have even found like a Thai actress that speaks English and just claim she's a foreigner, because I'm still remembering that actress from Hormones, who played the English teacher in the first season. Oh, the first season of Hormones was the best. Anyway, who played the English teacher in the first season? Like, even if she played it, good morning class, I will never forget that. But, you know, she played it and she could just not do an accent. Like, I just felt like even if they got a Thai actor to play the character, because they speak English without an accent, it would have, like, well, not, I shouldn't say without an accent, but if they speak English as their first language, it wouldn't have, I think, taken me out as much. It's like, to me, it's like, if anyone's seen The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, where she falls in love with, he's supposed to be Vietnamese. I just know I like that actor, but oh god, he was in Maze Runner as well, and he had to put on an accent, and his accent was so bad. Like, he's like an American. I don't know. I guess, I mean, for the comedy effect, I guess they wanted him to do the accent. That's the only thing I can think. But it was kind of like that. Like, hearing him try to do a Vietnamese accent, I think it was a Vietnamese accent, I was just like, ew, why is he talking like that? And then, of course, they dropped the accent and just had him speak in his natural tone, his natural accent in the next season, and it was better to me just to see him, you know, as himself and married. That's a different show. So that threw me out. That was the only one that really threw me out. Really, I would have even preferred if she was just speaking Thai and he was answering her in English. Like, and then again, I also think, you know, maybe they just couldn't afford, you know, the actor that they would want. They had to go with someone that they could afford, because she's really pretty. So it made me go, is she like a model that's, you know, that an acting opportunity came up and she took it? Because that could be it as well, because it could just be that she was more affordable. I'm not gonna knock that. You gotta save money somewhere. But Ram and King also came out to be my favorite couple. They definitely stole the show. I wanted to know more about them. I actually cared more about them eventually. Next couple, Mek and Boss. Oh gosh. All right, where do I start? Mek. The actor is Chinese, I believe. This goes back to just hire someone, like, who, like, if it is that you really like this actor, why not just change the character to be Chinese? Just change the story. Just make the character Chinese, and he doesn't speak Thai well, and his friends are also helping him learn Thai. Like, that would have been better. It would have been better, because even if you're doing ADR and you're doing a voiceover, whatever, the voiceover didn't even match the scene. Like, the voiceover volume is at 12 and the scene volume is at 7. Like, just that's just the volume. And it was just so off, because I'm staring like, why does it feel so off? Why does it feel so off? I would have preferred, like, it would have been better if they had just gotten a Thai actor. Or if they really wanted someone Chinese, get a Chinese person who speaks Thai fluently. Or just make the character himself Chinese. Like, that voiceover just interrupted my life a lot. But Boss and Meg, their whole storyline with the husband and wife thing, I find it interesting that they liked each other from the beginning. What are they doing out there? I find it interesting. I'm trying to, like, record as early as possible so I can go do story time. I'm sorry. So I find it interesting that they like each other from the beginning, because you don't get that often in BL. We get the whole, kind of like Joanna and Bond storyline where they didn't meet and fall in love. They met and were frenemies, grew to fall in love with each other, whatever. We don't even get characters like Ram and King that often where they meet, and even though they had a little thing, it wasn't a big issue or anything, because King was already from the beginning trying to get to know Ram, and they ended up having a really sweet relationship throughout, even if, we just saw friendship for most of it. In the end, we get it. Yes! Finally, I guess. I'm missing story time. But yeah, so, and Meg and Boss kind of had that as well, where we have this friendship and we're realizing Meg likes Boss, and then eventually we find out how Boss feels for Meg, and that girl was selfish though. I have to say, she was very selfish. Like, I understand her selfishness though. I didn't blame her for her selfishness, because she's young. I do feel like when you're young, you shouldn't be selfish, but you should be forgiven for your selfishness because you don't have the experience to back it up everything yet. I think it's when people are older, I'm like, all right, you have no reason to be selfish. You're a 30-year-old man. Get yourself together. But, when you're young and you're in college and, you just want to have fun and live your life, I understand why you have this need to want to be selfish. You feel like the world is at your fingertips and you want to be able to grasp everything. And I feel like that's where she was in her life. She wanted everything, and he was like that too, because when he decided, okay, I'm going to be with her, he was going out of his way to try and make sure that she and him could be together. But this is where he's going to get a down vote. During this time, he still had feelings for Meg, which is not a bad thing. Sometimes people do have feelings for more than one person at a time. But he was still, like, carrying around, I think it was the picture. Yeah, picture. And if you're going to keep, like, a memento for the person you loved and lost, then why are you moving on to someone else? Like, you haven't let go. Like, even if you haven't let go fully, but keeping that's strange, and that's wrong. No. But Meg and Boss overall, I do want to see what's gonna happen next. Where will they go in season 2? As far as the final couple, Frong and forgettable guy, Frong's forgettable too. Honestly, they're both forgettable. To me, they were kind of like the throwaway couple. Like, okay, we gotta give the cousin and the what was it? The other love interest person. We gotta give them a wrapped up storyline. Like, that's I don't even see how they fit together. I guess I would have to see season 2 to see where they go and how they fit together, because I just don't. And it's not the actors. To me, it's not the actors at all with this. It's the characters that have been portrayed. I just don't see the chemistry between them. Like, am I supposed to see the whole thing about the store is closed, leave? Is that the chemistry? I think I just need to see more of them to eventually go, okay, I see the chemistry. Because it would have been different if when he showed up with his pet, I think it was a lizard, right? It was a reptile. But it would have been different if when he showed up with his pet and he was like, yeah, this is my whatever. He's like, oh, that's so cool. I like reptiles too. And there was a discussion on that, and I'd be like, oh wait, there is something between them, but like, is it the lost necklace? Is that the chemistry? Like, I haven't seen something like, all right, so Bun and Dwan, like I said, they both like speedsters. You know, the motorbike, the motorcycle, the car, they're both into stuff like that. So I can put that, even if they didn't put that in storyline, I can see that as being a joining force. With Ram and King, even though one is more into flowers and one is into dogs, they're both like obsessed with something that you raise and you take care of and you care for. So that right there is a bonding experience as well. With Mech and Boss, they have this history together. They have these shared nicknames that they can mess with each other with and stuff like that. And Mech protects Boss. So that's something right there to join them together. If the flowers is what's supposed to make me go, oh, okay, then yeah, I don't feel it. I think we need to see more of it. We need to see where it goes. It needs to be fully fleshed out for me to go, yeah, that's it right there. That's it. But that's really it. I mean, there's going to be season 2. So I think in season 2, I'll really be able to enjoy it more and really see where everything is going with the story. I have to say, Lay is awesome. I love him in this. I love him in YYY. I can't wait to see what he does next after, My Engineer the series. Like, what is he going to go into next? He kind of, in a way, reminds me of from, oh gosh, what is it again? Frame and Book. Is that the name of the characters? Frame and Book, from the show that I don't like, and I will never review. I'm sorry, I can't. I'll review Frame and Book, but he was in that. He was in He's Coming to Me. He was in War Boys. Is that War School? I can't remember. He's in a lot of stuff, and he's currently in The Shipper. When I saw him in the show Make It Right, the series, I really liked him. I did not like the show, but his acting, something about that kid just made me go him. There's something about this kid, and that's the same way I feel about Lay. I see him and I'm just like, him. There's something about this kid. I think he's gonna do well, and yeah, I'm enjoying him so far. So I can't wait to see what happens next with all these actors. I can't wait to see what happens next with My Engineer the series. I am really excited about this. Rating. There's a lot that made me go, oh, but overall, like I said, I did enjoy the show. The ers didn't ruin it completely for me. So I'm going to give this show a 7.5 out of 10 because I definitely, even though I don't see this as a show in my rotation, rewatching over and over again, so does the series. I'm sorry! I don't see it in my rotation for me rewatching 100 times, but I do see it as something that I would recommend to other people and say, yeah, you know what? You should definitely check this out. I do see that. So, yeah, 7.5 out of 10. I think is a really good show. So, yeah, that is basically the episode this week. Now, there's a lot going on in my life right now, and I don't know how quickly I'm going to be able to get episodes up. I know I'm trying to schedule it to be every Sunday and Wednesday. I know Sunday is still going to be a definite, But Wednesday, I don't know if the day is going to have to change or that day is going to be moved around because there's a lot going on in my life right now. The struggle. But yeah, I'm going to update you guys. You can follow me on Twitter when I'm finished with the update. I'll go ahead and let you guys know what is in the future. I just have to see what, hopefully everything settles down soon and we'll be able to get out there. So yeah, follow me on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, see what I'm up to, see what I'm watching, even though I haven't posted in a while, really. I'm busy. And, yeah. Oh, I actually want to talk about something real quick. That boxing match between Vaughn and Ram. So, ready for this? My husband and I both, my husband did more martial arts than me. I did a little bit of martial arts as well, though. Not as much. I quit pretty early. But we both, at one point, did boxing. I did it for exercise. Anyway, he was in the room with me. He wasn't really watching and paying attention. I was the one watching the show. He was kind of on his phone. And I bust out laughing. And he looks up and he sees it as well. And we both bust out laughing. And we're like, is anybody gonna block? What is this? And especially when I was like, babe, the best part, he's supposed to be like a boxer from high school. He's just like, no. It was so bad. That boxing match was horrible. I just want to make it clear. That was horrible. That's how, like, that wasn't the first show that made me look at something like that and go, what? I want my husband to watch, let me know what you guys think. I'm thinking of having my husband watch Slam Dance because he did wrestling throughout high school and college. Should he watch Slam Dance and then he himself write a review? I'll give the review. He doesn't like being on mic. He doesn't like his voice. I give the review and everything, but he write up his own review and his own rating for the show. Let me know what you think. Should I make him watch Slam Dance? Go on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and let me know. But yeah, I want him to watch more shows with me and review them with me because I have fun reviewing with him because he sometimes like points out stuff that I didn't even notice or tells me things that I didn't even think about. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. So yeah, let me know what you think about that idea. I'm trying to whisper because I don't want him to hear. It has to be a surprise. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this episode. I'm JD Young signing off, and I hope you have a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, whatever it is, wherever you are.